Do my patrons know allocated bourbon? Let's find out. What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new video. I cannot wait to get into today's video, but before we do, I need to thank you guys so much for the love and support recently. We just hit 5,500 subscribers, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. Keep leaving that like down below, smash the subscribe button if you're brand new, and leave a comment down below on what your favorite allocated bourbon is. As you can see, in each one of these Glencairns is one of my Patreon's favorite allocated bourbons, and we have a blind that they set up specifically for me. I've got absolutely no idea what were in these sample bottles, but they do. And we're gonna see which one of them sent me the best allocated bourbon. So as always, we're gonna blind left to right, fast forward right to left, so that you guys can get to the fun stuff. But nonetheless, I can't thank my Patreons enough for setting this up for me. If you guys want to join in on the fun, send me blind samples and stuff like that, join in on the fun over at the Patreon. Link is down below. For as little as $2 a month, you can come support me and join an amazing community of guys and girls. But enough of the soppy stuff. I have absolutely no idea what's in here. We could have a Pappy 20. I don't think any of them have a Pappy 20. If they do, they're hiding it from all of us. But we could have some crazy, crazy hitters in here. Here we go. We're going to start on the left here with Big Al. And let's see what you got in this nose here, Big Al. Real quick nose, and then diving into this palate. I love these blinds. These blinds are always super, super fun. You could have Stag Jr. coming in below like Michters or something like that. Again, no idea what's in these. I'm getting like a nice cherry florally note coming off of this nose. It's got a nice cinnamon kick. This is a Buffalo Tracy nose. I will tell you that right now. This is very, very Buffalo Trace. I like this nose a lot. It's got some heat to it. Cheers, everybody. Oh yeah, that bad boy right there has some heat kicking behind it. It gives you that warm Kentucky hug going all the way down your throat. Leaves my tongue stinging for some more. But it is just an overwhelmingly just sweet cherry candy in a way. Really, really good pour right there. As always, with these blinds, everybody's blind sample key is in these envelopes. So at the end of this, we will open those up. But man, oh man, Big Al sent a big heavy hitter in the first sip right there. And we got to get into sip number 2. And this one here is from Mark. And this one is earthy as all could be. It had a little bit of like that like really dry woody note coming through on it right on that first nose. Getting a little bit of like a peanut dust. It's got some floral notes in there. This is a really nice nose as well. Is it as nice as the first one? I don't think so. But let's get on the palate. Okay, so it's a lighter proof. It's a very easy sipper. It is very easy. And as always, you guys will know what I am drinking at that moment. But Mark, this is a very nice lighter proofer sip. It gives me a little nuttiness. It's like a very wet walnut in a way. It's like those wet nuts that you put on like an ice cream sundae or whatnot at like the ice cream shop. That's what that's giving me. It's giving me like wet nuts. It's really, really nice. It's got a little bit more of an oaky presence to it. Let's move on to glass number 3, which is a chocolate bomb. And this is Josh. I know Josh has some really nice bottles. Same thing with all of these guys have some really nice heavy hitter bottles, and I cannot wait to find out what these are. But this has a really nice chocolate note. It's interesting, and I know Josh really likes New Riff. He lives right over the border of Ohio, so he goes to New Riff all the time. So I'm going to take a swing and assume. And you guys know what assuming does, but I'm going to assume that this might be a New Riff. One of their distillery-only releases. This smells so good. Wow, how interesting that pour is. It has a little youthfulness to it. I'm getting a little bit of a graininess, a little bit of just that youthful flavor. I really don't know the best terminology for it, but you're getting the grain forwardness off of this. And I do really enjoy the nose a lot more than the palate itself. But it is not a bad sip at all. That is a really, really good sip. But the nose is immaculate compared to the palate. Let's move on to glass number 4 here. This is Steve's pick. Ooh, that's a very nice vanilla. It's almost like you got fresh, homemade vanilla extract. Or you just took like a vanilla bean and just like cooked it and you just boiled that and let that stew up into the air, and that's the aroma you're getting out of this glass, is that nice, warm, rich vanilla. It almost has like an ice creamy nose to it too, like it's thick and creamy off of the nose. That is really nice. It's got some proof to it. It's punching you in the face, and it is really nice vanilla. It's got a little bit of like a creme brulee, like a charred, crystallized, heated up sugar on top with that nice creamy, custardy note underneath of it. Really, really good pour. That right there might just jump up 2 spots because that is so darn delicious. Wow, Steve, coming in hot with a really nice pour right there. Let's go into number 4 here, or number 5. This is Salty's pick. And if you guys have been around the channel for a while, you guys know that Salty's picks normally don't fare well, but they're always so good. And I feel so bad for him because he sends me heavy hitters, and he just hasn't had the best of luck with my palate and his picks. But nonetheless, let's find out what he's got going on here. Okay, nose is really nice. Cinnamon, a little leather, a little oak, like a nice tanned leather too. A touch of coffee, and there's some cherry in there too. I like this nose. This is a killer nose right here, Salty. Let's get into the palate though, everybody. All right, Salty. You're coming through with a really big hitter right here. But it does have a touch of a bitteriness at the tail end. But the upfront flavor punch that just wraps your tongue up and twists it up and just suffocates it with just really, really nice flavor notes, I think bumps it up 2 spots. I don't know if I can bump it up above Steve's pick at the moment, but nonetheless, it's got this honeysuckle that is so nice. I like that a lot right there, Salty. That is really, really good. But we got to move back into... No, that was Josh's pick. We already did Josh's pick. We got to move on to number 6 here, which is John. And John's pick here, it's got a little bit of like KitchenAid cleaner in here. Past that though, once that dissipates into the air, I get lemon. Like this is a citrusy nose right here. There's a touch of a grape and a little bit of an apple. Like I'm getting the fruit notes off of this now. Maybe a little bit of like a chocolate covered strawberry too. I like this. It's very, it smells proofy. It smells like it's gonna have some punch going down. Wow. Talk about a well-balanced, super smooth, just easy-going sip right there. Holy bajoli, is that just like... I gotta bump that up immediately. Put that right in front of me so that I remember where it's at. John, whatever this is, the palate does not follow the nose whatsoever. That is just like super... It's creamy and rich, but it's a lower proofer. And it gives you this like cooling effect. It's got a little mintiness to it, a little pine, a little maple. There's a lot of just like herbal and earthy notes that come through on it, but it's so well balanced. That is really, really good. But we got to move on to the last pour here. This is Sam's pick. And let's get in the nose, everybody. That is interesting. That is a very, very interesting nose. There's like apricots, pears and apples. This is a very, very fruity nose. It smells like it's finished in a port wine barrel almost. It smells like it's finished. It really does. Cheers. Doesn't necessarily taste like it's finished though, but it's really good. It's got this grapey note to it that makes me think that it's finished in a wine barrel. It is really, really good. It's sweet. It's rich. It's creamy. It's velvety. It's not super high proof. It's really good. But we're going to have to go through these one more time, right to left, and see which one of these comes out on top. Because I think I have where I think that these are going to fall, but we need to go through one more time. Before we do, make sure you drop that like if you're still here. Leave a comment down below if you think there are going to be any upsets on any of these glasses, because you guys know what they are. At this moment, I do not, but let's fast forward right now. But like I said, I have absolutely no idea what any of these are, and I cannot wait to find out what they are. Let's find out right now. We're 7th place, right? Yep, 7th place is gonna go to Josh. And I'm sorry, Josh, but that's just how we roll right now. So let's see. Josh in 7th place. Josh sent us OCD number 5, Kentucky Bourbon Whiskey, barrel number 101 at proof 105.4. All right, so this is one that I've never heard of. It was, I thought Josh was going to send us some new riff. All right, okay, all right. Here we go. 6th place is going to go to Mark, and Mark is going to be right here. Mark's pick was, okay, all right, Still Austin High Rye Bourbon, bottled at 100 proof. This is release number 2 from fall 2023. So Still Austin came in 6th place, beat out one of those OCD bottles. All right, all right, all right, okay, all right. We've got 5th place coming from Sam. We got Sam and Big Al in the same envelope here, so we're gonna have to try not to see what Big Al's is at the same time. So here we go. They got this thing all in here. All right, so all right, I do not see what Big Al's is. Hand was able to cover before we saw it. So Sam sent us Shenks 2023, bottled at 91.2 proof, batch number 23D1486. This is a Michters product, and I can't remember if Shenks is the one that's finished in the other barrels. I think it's French oak. I can't quite remember, but I think it's the bomb burgers that I really enjoyed when I was able to sample them. And the Shenks is really nice. I just wish we got a little bit more information on what these were specifically. But nonetheless, really, really good pour. Really, really good. So there was Sam's. We're moving into 4th place, which was Steve. And Steve's is right here, unfolded, or folded, about to unfold. And Steve sent us a Barrell Private Select. This is the Total Wine and More Cinnamon Roll Sundae private release. This was a 40% 5-year, 30% 7-year, 15% 10-year, and 15% 17-year, bottled at 117.2 proof. Okay, all right. This was a really good pour. It was hard to go back and forth between these two. And I do believe I did say that this one had a nice cinnamon kick in it when I first went through it. I love barrel picks. They're so, so good. But we're on third place. We're on the podium. And number 3 goes to John. And John's is right here. John usually sends some fun stuff. He did send me pickled bourbon one point, and was not a fan of that. This, thankfully, did not taste like pickled bourbon. So let's find out what this exactly is. John sent us Wild Turkey Master's Keep 2022 Unforgotten at 105 proof. It's not age stated, but it's said to be 13-year-old bourbon and 8 to 9-year-old rye. Okay, so this was one that really intrigued me last year. And it was one of those Master's Keeps that if I found it at like under 300, I would pick up. Unfortunately, I did not find it. And thank you, John, so much for sending me this sample because it was really good. And at 105 proof, like I said, this was thick, it was creamy, it was viscous, it was packed full of flavor at that proof point and really, really good. But we've got second place here from Salty Lettuce. And like I said before, Salty has had some rough goings going forward with this, and we're gonna find out what Salty sent us our way right now. Salty sent us the 2023 Batch 3 Bookers, the Mighty Fine Batch. This is a 7-year, 1 month, and 10-day old Bookers, bottled at 126.6 proof. And I do think I said I found a nuttiness coming out of this glass, and there it was. We've gone through our first 6, and Big Al held on to the number 1 spot from the number 1 sip. It was the first sip we had of the night, and it held on to its first place podium. And we're gonna find out what Big Al sent our way right now. In the top of this envelope, we will find out what Big Al sent us. Very, very interesting. Did I expect this at all? Not at all. Big Al sent us a 4 Roses single barrel, bottled at 124.6 proof. It was a proofy boy going down. This is a Binny's store pick at 11 years, 8 months old. Now, Big Al, when you watch this, I want you to post a comment down below on what mash bill that is. Is it an OESK? Is it an OESV? I want to know what specifically that is in the comments down below so that everybody else can know what that is, because they have so many different mash bills and yeast strains and everything along those lines. And if it has the mash bill that specific bottle is, let us know in the comments down below, and I'm going to pin that at the top so that everybody can find out, because this was, I feel like I've said before, I was scared of 4 Roses, but this one right here might be one of those beginner bottles that you get into, you hit in the beginning, and you're like, holy cow, I'm addicted. Holy majoli, that is a delicious, decadent, wonderful pour, and it deserves that first place spot out of these 7. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, drop that subscribe, and leave a comment down below on what bottle you would have sent my way to enter into this blind. But until next time, this has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.